Alright, Woolicane back in this video again. This time we're looking at another Bandai's 6-inch Thundercats figures. This time it's Tigra. Now, as I told you when I was talking about Chitara, picked these up cheap from Home Bargains when they were on offer. I actually picked up about 3 or 4 Tigras. Opened one already, so I know exactly what I'm expecting here. But yeah, I can already say I enjoy this figure. As you can see from the packaging, showing off the figure within, artwork of Tigra, nameplate, some warnings at the bottom. Again, a sticker over other figures available, but this one's ready to peel off, which is nice. Chuck that in my bag of rubbish down there. So we can see Lion-O, Mumm-Ra, Chitara. All the ones from the modern line. You can see the 2 classic figures available of Lion-O and Mumm-Ra. Yeah. More artwork of the character at the top. Picture of the figure within. Picture of the accessories. Not a bad little box. But who wants to look at the box? This review is not about the box. It's about the figure within. And my oh my, what a cool figure it is. Again, I'll point out, really liked the modern Thundercats cartoons. Not as much as the original. But then, I'm an 80s child. Of course I preferred the original Thundercats to the modern one. Missed a little bit there we go. Slight problem with this, there's a snagging on there, that may have been just done with my knife then. But as I've said before, love the symbol underneath, it looks very cool. Something I don't like about modern packaging is how much you get all this blank space. I'm sure you got them in the old ones as well, but I don't know, seems wasteful. Should know better by now. Snip the figure out of the far too unnecessary tabs that keep him trapped in the packet. Again, I rant about this every time, I know, but as long as we're going to get these figures in this sort of packaging with these little ties, I'm going to complain about it because that's what I do. I complain about things I don't like. I'm English. What do you expect? Especially when a little tie like this one, and that's just a proper bugger to ship. Especially with the big old knives I'm using. There we go. Get him out of package, discard the packaging because hey, who needs that? I do because it's still got his gun in it. There we go. Tigra out of packaging. Leave his accessories to one side for the moment and just concentrate on the figure. Face sculpt, awesome. Don't know if you can see that, but it looks really nice. The actual design of the figure, the sculpt of the figure, again, almost faultless. You can see the screws on the back, but then you're always going to see the screws on the back. That's not an issue to me in any way, shape or form. Stands really well. Looks perfectly like he did in the show. Not a big fan of the chunky arm armour. But that's more an issue with the show itself rather than with this figure. Because all that is a representation of what he actually wore in the show. And if he actually wore it, I can't complain about the figure having it. All the tiger markings, really nicely done. In fact, there's even one that's just under his wrist that you can barely see, but that shows the attention to detail that they've done with this figure, which is really good. Now, articulation wise, again, epic. Head articulates on a ball joint, so it can go slightly up and down. Arms can go forwards, backwards, outwards, inwards. There's a bicep cut, double jointed elbows, wrist articulation, rocker on the chest here, waist articulation, legs, double jointed knees, legs can go forwards, backwards or outwards, knees, ankle pivot rather, and a rocker on the ankle. So yeah, epic amount of articulation. Can get him in a whole range of different poses, which are actually really good. You can't get him to stand on something like that, obviously. And again, no pins in the feet for the for a figure stand if you had one. Doesn't do figure stands, but doesn't need to, because he stands really well on his own, and most dynamic poses you'll be able to find a way to balance him, I'm sure. Let's have a look at the weapons. First of all, he comes with this blaster, which again is the modern Tigra weapon. Not sure I entirely approve of that, because I'm very much the old school. Tigra should only use his whip, and he used the gun far too much in the series. His right hand's got a trigger finger that'll fit right into the gun itself, so he can actually hold it really nicely, get some really good action poses going with that. Not only that, his belt actually includes a holster, and he can actually grab hold of the gun while it's in the holster. Because the chest can pivot like that, you can actually get hold of the gun, which is a really, really nice touch. Something I really approve of. If he doesn't want to hold the gun though, it fits snugly into the holster. Doesn't fall out if you tip him upside down and shake him, which I'm not sure that's a real test, but it's one of my tests. So yeah, you don't have to worry about him losing his gun when it's holstered. Moves on to the whip. All one colour. Shame really we couldn't have had the ends painted red or the handle painted a different colour, but yeah, it's not a big deal that. Nice little plastic thing. Held in the right hand. He looks to have a loose grip on it, but he holds it well. The figure actually has an indentation in the hand. Probably can't see that there, but there is an indentation in there that actually the whip clips into, which allows him to hold on to it. Which gives him plenty of grip on it, which is really nice. The other hand does the same. And again, a slightly more closed hand there, so it looks like he's holding it better. He can use both weapons at once if he really wants to. If you want to say, have him look like he's about to throw his whip and he's just fired his gun. Gun will fit in either hand, but as I say, trigger finger sculpted on the right, so it looks best on that. Problem with previous figures that I mentioned last time about the pins showing. Chitara did a good job of covering a few of them up. Tigra, even better. The ones in his arm here merge almost seamlessly into his tiger stripes. Shoulder ones are covered by the armour. The two elbow points, again, merge into the armour really well. Same with the ones on the knee. The only one that really stands out is this one at the back here. Again, that's at the back. I'm less bothered about things at the back. Doesn't bother me that at all. So overall, awesome figure. I believe this was the final 6-inch figure that was released. And finally they got it right. This one was spot on. No problems with it at all. Really loved this figure. Looking forward to customising it into making my own Bengalis or other Thunderians. But yeah, love that figure. Love the articulation, love the sculpt, love the belt. I didn't mention this before. I don't think it's removable. It plugs into his waist. There's a pin at the side. If you wanted to remove it, you could. Not something I'm going to do because, I might do when I customise, but I'm in no rush to remove it. Otherwise, yeah, really love this Tigra figure. If all the figures had been like this in the line, I reckon the line would still be going strong now, and we'd have a second series of Thundercats by now. So, yeah, this to me, the biggest problem with this to me is its Bullseye factor. For those of you not in the UK, who didn't grow up in the UK in the 80s, Bullseye was a game show in the UK. And what they used to do, you'd play darts, and if you won the big speedboat at the end, you got the big speedboat. If you didn't, they'd reveal it anyway and say, look at what you could have won. That's what Tigra is to me. This is what the line could have been. This is the starting point of a great line. But instead, it's the last one. It's the last figure we got. Look at what you could have won. Disappointing and a sad note to end on. But, again, love the figure. Awesome figure. No problems with it at all. Okay, see you then.